I'm Dr. Mollie Marti, and welcome to Resiliency Matters. This is where we take the big resiliency research and best practices and break it down into small bite-sized pieces that you can begin using immediately to strengthen yourself and others. What if you could learn from a woman who Oprah Winfrey named her all-time favorite guest after 25 years of filming her TV show? Would you spend the next 28 minutes with us? What if in the next 10 minutes you could learn a mantra that took a young girl from poverty-stricken Zimbabwe to America to earn her higher education and to change the world? Would you hang out with us? Who is us? Meet my other half today, Dr. Tererai Trent. Dr. Trent is a scholar, an educator, a humanitarian, and founder of the nonprofit Tererai Trent International. She is a leading voice in our world on equality for education, to help our young girls and empower them to be educated. And we are so very happy she is with us today. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
I want to start with a little trivia. I found it so fascinating. Your first name, Tererai, is actually a short version of your full name. What is your full name and its meaning?
So the full name is Tererai Shokoramwari, which means we listen to the spirit. And Tererai is not a common name for girls. When I was born, my father was expecting a baby boy, and so he had reserved the name for a son. And there I came, and I got the name Tererai.
Beautiful. In our resiliency work, we talk a lot about the power of one adult, a trusted adult, to change the life of a child. Mm-hmm. You experienced this firsthand. What was your experience?
So I grew up pretty much in poverty, and by the time I turned 18, I already had 3 children. In fact, one of my children died as an infant because I was a child myself. And then I was very fortunate to meet a woman from Heifer International, Jolak, mm-hmm. and she inspired me to believe in my own dreams. So adults, we play a major role in our children's lives, or in young women and young men, and without that, without Jolak, I doubt very much I would be sitting here talking to you. So she really inspired me.
So when Jolak encouraged you to dream and to give voice to those dreams, what came out of you? What were those dreams that were on your heart?
I wanted to have an education more than anything. So when Jolak talked about how her organization has changed lives, especially among young women. Mm-hmm. And I said, really, can I go back to school? Can I have an education? And she said, if those are your dreams, it's achievable. So I said, I want to have an undergraduate. I want to have a master's. And I want to have a PhD. Those were my dreams.
And your mother encouraged you to write those down and do what?
So after meeting with Jolak, I went to my mother and I said, Mother, I met this woman and she made me believe in my dreams. And my mother said, if you truly believe in what this woman said to you, write down your dreams and bury them. And I come from a culture where when a child is born, they normally take the child's umbilical cord and they wrap that umbilical cord in the mother's old dress and bury it deep under the ground near the heart where the child is born, with the belief that when the child grows, wherever the child goes, whatever happens in their life, mm-hmm. the umbilical cord will always remind them of their birthplace. So my mother realized that I needed some faith in my own life. I had these challenges that were so overwhelming. And she said, the same way we bury the umbilical cord, if you write down your dreams and bury them, Your dreams will always remind you of their importance. Wherever you go in the world, those dreams will call you back and say, you need to achieve us. And that's why I wrote down initially I had written down my 4 dreams. You know, go to America, have my undergraduate, have my master's, and my PhD. And I was ready to go and bury my dreams. And then my mother said something so profound, and I think that's what changed my whole life. She said, your dreams will have greater meaning if they are tied to the betterment of your community, which means your dreams will have greater meaning if they are also connected to the greater good.
Yes.
So I ended up writing my 5th dream. When I'm done, when I come back, I want to improve the lives of girls and women in my own community, because I realized at that point that it wasn't about accumulating my own dreams, but it was also about giving back to my own community.
Beautiful. The call of home and the power of giving back.
Yeah.
So how did you get from Zimbabwe to America to begin pursuing your higher education?
When I met Jolak, I did not have a high school diploma. I was just a battered young woman living in poverty. And after that inspiration from Jolak, I began to start my correspondence classes. And I did my GED. It took me almost 10 years to get my GED. 10 years of not getting enough tuition to do the next class. And when I finished my GED, I applied to come to America and got accepted at Oklahoma State University.
And so what did you do after earning each degree, after achieving each of those goals? You did something very momentous.
So when I came to America, after achieving my undergraduate and my master's, I had an opportunity to go back home. And I would go back to the place where I had buried my dreams and dig them up. And I would check each dream as I was achieving it. And I could see the dreams that were still to be achieved. And somehow digging those dreams and reburying them energized me. And I would come back to America with this new energy, with this hope that I'm going to achieve my dreams. So when I also achieved my PhD, I went back and I did the same thing.
I knew this segment would go fast, and it did. I'm leaving you viewers with this tip that saw Tererai from her home country to begin achieving her dreams. If you believe in your dreams, they are achievable. Why did Oprah select Tererai as her all-time favorite guest? Her words when we come back. Dr. Mollie Marti, and welcome back to Resiliency Matters. We are speaking with Dr. Tererai Trent, who is named by Oprah Winfrey as her all-time favorite guest from her 25 years of viewing or of recording her show. And I would like to share with our viewers exactly what Oprah said in why she selected Tererai. She said, "She's my favorite because she symbolizes everything I believe the Oprah show stands for. Her story encapsulates the essence of every lesson we've shared over the past 25 years. Hope. Your thoughts create your reality. Gratitude. It doesn't matter where you come from. Keep reaching for your dream. And above all, you have the power." Not to let Oprah do the heavy lifting here, but I think that is a beautiful pathway for us to explore your wisdom on these important aspects of what allowed you to achieve your dreams. So what role does hope play, both in your life and inspiring hope in others?
You know, I always think that hope is that fire that ignites your soul to remain determined, to see the possibilities, to tap into your own talents. And without hope, you can never move forward and you can never see the end of the tunnel. And hope gives us that energy to say, it's possible and I can do it.
Yes, it is possible.
Yeah.
So what is your guidance on using your thoughts to create your reality?
You know, when I wrote down my dreams, it was my thoughts, because I knew that in a way I was ingraining my thoughts to believe in something that may seem impossible. So you need to kind of ground your own thoughts and believe that it's achievable, it's doable. And if your thoughts are reflecting on only the negatives, then it becomes almost impossible to achieve whatever you want in your own life. So thoughts, they play a fundamental role in my life. What is it that I'm thinking? What is it that I am entertaining in my mind, in my thoughts? Because my mind plays a major role in who I am.
Mm-hmm. And what role does gratitude play in resilience?
Without being grateful, you can never be resilient, because it is only those that are grateful. When you are grateful, you begin to see the beauty that surrounds you. You begin to recognize those that have come along your way, those that have helped you. And you become more resilient, because you know that you are not alone. We need others. We are all social animals. So the more I interact with you, the more I get to understand you, the more you also understand me. The more you also bring harmony in my life, the more you bring resilience in me, and the more I'm also able to build my own resilience.
And what would your message be for those who say, well, because of my background, because of my circumstances, I can't achieve something?
Wow. You know, I have seen people without legs doing some amazing things. I have seen the blind doing some amazing things. And I always say, with the little that you have, you can do something, you can contribute to someone's life. If I had lived in my own poverty and realized, you know, there's nothing that I can do, I doubt very much I would be here with you. But because I recognize that God gave me something, there is talent within me, there is wisdom that I can always tap from my elders, from my friends, from my mother, and I can always use that to reach that level where maybe I would not have done if I had mellowed in my own self and self-pity, in my own self-pity, and think I cannot do it. I think we all have the power to do something in our lives.
And she said that you kept reaching for your dreams against all odds in that face of great adversity. And in our work with the National Resilience Institute, we go into communities that have experienced tremendous loss and great adversity. What would your message to them be in that midst of that tremendous loss? I know it is these things of be grateful for what you have and there is hope, but what else might you say?
You know, I always say that in the face of adversity, adversity is a community thing. It's not an individual thing. And I would reach out and say, go to the community, find comfort within your community. And the community should also come to those that are in adversity so that we can build resilience, so that the challenges are they are there for all of us. I come from a culture where when we have death in the family, we mourn together. We come together as a community. We celebrate together because we realize that death is not only coming to this individual family, but we experience it. If we lose 3 or 4 kids in our own community, they are part of who we are. So we need to come in, embrace what is happening in the community because it's part of us.
What a beautiful call to come together and to recognize how intertwined we all are. So there are so many takeaways. This is what I will give you from segment number 2, but I hope you have a pen and or pencil and you're writing your own notes. Dream with a purpose. Surround yourself with positive people who support your success and actively give back to others in need. What was the factor that Oprah said was most important in Tererai's success? We'll explore this and much more. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Dr. Mollie Marti, and welcome back to Resiliency Matters. We are talking with Dr. Tererai Trent of Tererai Trent International, and Oprah had named you her all-time favorite guest, and she said that above all, you taught the lesson that you have the power. What does it mean to you to stay in your own power?
I think we all have the power, and we all need to recognize that the power is within us, and we need to tap it out and use it for the greater good. And when my mother said, if you believe in these dreams and you achieve these dreams, not only are you defining who you are, but you are also defining every life in the greater good. So she gave me the power to believe in my own power, that if I achieve my dreams, I'm not only defining who I am, but also defining my children as well as defining my own community. If you don't believe in your own power, you cannot move forward. And it's important for us to believe in ourselves, to nurture what's within us, and realize that when we know that power and use that power, it's not only for our own selves, but also to reach out to others, also to give platform to others. And that's the power that will make us all successful.
So when you received this recognition, Oprah gave you $1.5 million contributed so that you could go back to your village and rebuild your childhood school. You've continued that work. What is the work of Tererai Trent International?
So Tererai Trent International, we improve education. We access universal education to every child, despite gender or socio-economic background. We have been very fortunate to get this 1.5 million from Oprah Winfrey, and we have managed to rebuild Matao Primary School. And not only that school, when we started with that school, our children used to sit on the floors, and now we have rebuilt that school. Now we have children that are sitting on desks. And not only have we improved on that school, we have also impacted other schools in the surroundings. And today we have about 5,000 children that have been impacted by this program.
And here's another slide of some before and afters.
Yeah, as you can see, the children used to learn outside. We had no desks and chairs, and the buildings were dilapidated. And as you can see in that photo, now we have those beautiful school infrastructure, and the children are now sitting on desks and writing. And we also have managed to build a school library You know, we work mostly in rural areas. And the unfortunate part in most rural areas is the young girls that are mostly impacted by poverty. They drop out of school at an early age. But what we have done is to ensure that the girls who remain in school. When we started, we had about a 14% pass rate in our schools, and today, as I sit here, we have 35% pass rate, and we are seeing more girls outperforming boys. There is something about educating girls. Half the world is comprised of women, and if we don't give resources to these girls, what are we saying about ourselves? And through our school, it has allowed me to see the importance of educating women. I think it is the best investment that anyone can do to make sure that girls, they also have an opportunity for an education.
In something you mentioned that I found interesting, that you say that in work to empower girls, we can't focus solely on girls. We also need to take care of our boys.
Yeah.
Why is this holistic approach important?
It's very important because right now, as much as we talk about girl power, leveling the playing field, enabling more girls to go into school, but we should not forget the boys. The boys, they should also be part of this campaign to make sure that we have both boys and girls in the education system, and that's why we are promoting universal education. If we don't promote boys' education, I'm telling you, 50 years from today, it will be boys sitting on this chair talking about being marginalized by women. We cannot afford to do that. Women, we are nurturing in ourselves, we are nurturing in reaching out to others, and it's important for us to make sure that we are promoting universal education because every child has a right to education.
And you talk about finding meaning in giving back, and you've touched upon it because it's how you breathe in and out.
Yes.
You're so focused on that common good. But I want to talk a little bit more about that. And in our work, we know that when we go into communities and there's a lack of hope, one of the first things we do are to help children identify their unique talents, their lights, and how do we help them nurture them and shine them and contribute them, because it is through that process of contributing that they strengthen themselves.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that, on that finding meaning in life through contributing and giving back?
I think it's important. You know, I always want to start at the talent place, because if we don't encourage these young girls and boys to tap into their talents, then it becomes very difficult for them to find meaning in life, and it will become very difficult for them to give back to their own communities, because talent plays such a major role. When you have talent, then you know your passion. And when you have your passion, then you know your purpose. And when you get to that purpose, then you start reflecting, is what the success that I'm having, is it only for me? Then you realize that, no, you may be the gifted one, but you need to share your gifts. Reach out to others, because that's where healing comes. When I can take my own success and I can take my own talents and use it for the greater good, I am healing my world.
Yes, healing self and healing world, and we all have talents. So what a wonderful conversation. I want to share the web information where you can be a part of this work. I am a proud supporter of the Tererai Trent International. The National Resilience Institute is so proud in this collaboration, and you can help support a current campaign to feed school children in Zimbabwe. These children are getting an education, but they need nutrition along the way, and this is a dire need. So here is a website, tereraitrentinternational.org/canteen, where you can be involved. I also want to tell you that Tererai has a children's book coming out, The Girl Who Buried Her Dreams in a Can. It's being released October 6th, but you can pre-order now. It is available. So tool number 3, enrich your own life by engaging with others in a cause that is larger than yourself. Thank you so much to Dr. Trent for being with us, for shining a light on fighting for your dreams and supporting others. This is Dr. Mollie Marti with Resiliency Matters on MediaCom MC22, your local programming leader.